Welcome to the Whiskey Congress. Honest, open talk dedicated to speaking the truth to those who are open to hearing it. Black, white, right, left. Most importantly, honest, bold, and fueled by good whiskey. In Whiskey Veritas, we are Whiskey Congress. Join the evolution.
Anyway, so in an earlier episode, we talked about Netflix series that we should be watching, and we made a semi-agreement to watch a show for a show in terms of I think we should do a season for a season because there's just too many I was putting out Californication, and Californication's like 7 seasons long.
Yeah.
And if you watch the final season of Californication, at my recommendation, you will want to punch me in the face. I love that show so much.
Like the final season
of
Dexter?
Is just fucking worse.
Eek.
Worse.
Oh.
And that's, by the way, my definition of the worst series finale ever, Dexter.
Yes. Awful.
I loved that show.
I did too.
Until that final season was unbearable.
This didn't
and
even
the
make it,
episode was so fucking awful.
It was so it didn't make sense. Like so many loose ends left,
and
then they introduced new it didn't make any sense.
And it ruined a great show. Like in my opinion, one of the best closeouts to a series that I loved ever was Breaking Bad. A little bit fantastical at the end, but it closed all the loose ends. It had a great final ending.
What do you come out on The Sopranos ending?
I loved it. I loved it because like everyone else, I jumped up and went, "What the fuck happened to my TV?"
That's so classic with the response. Like everybody, including me, like
I missed the end of The Sopranos.
Because we're just like, wait, did we pay the cable bill?
I truly believe that was Tony Soprano's demise. I think he got shot, and that's why I went to black. And I thought that who was the producer of the show?
The Italian person?
No, it wasn't. It was anyway. The guy who all the names that are popping into my head are Wolf and Fincher and Lynch. I'm like, no, it was none of those. But he actually went to France when that aired because he didn't want to get bombarded with what the fuck did I just watch, But I read an interview where he said basically yes, that represented the fact that the guy who walked past him came back and shot him, and that's why it just instantly went black. But HBO left it open for a possible a reboot series or a movie or whatever. Yeah. And I loved that show so much.
You have no idea. And growing up where I grew up,
Youngstown was the 4th most prominent city in the show, right? I mean, New York City, a couple cities in New Jersey, and Youngstown got a...
Right, I mean...
We've talked about that on the show.
It was just... I saw a lot of that to a degree, right? Like, I mean, I didn't watch people get murdered and buried and things like that. But, shady. I mean, there was plenty of shady shit. I mean, I think I talked about the lotto scam that we were involved with when I was in high school.
No, I don't think you did.
Okay, well, I probably shouldn't do that. In fact,
you know what? Let's record the crime that you committed so that it doesn't exactly come back and bite you in the ass. Did you hear about that guy who got convicted or got arrested for a hit and run where he talked about hitting somebody with his car and basically said, "Yeah, I hope that guy was okay, but hey, people do it all the time." And the guy he hit died, and he got arrested because he was on like the radio talking about.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
That's awful.
It is awful.
Way to fucking railroad a conversation.
I'm saving you from yourself.
But no. What I was going to say is just that, I mean, where I grew up, I mean, me and my buddy, one of our jobs in high school, his dad worked at a grocery store. And we needed summer jobs. So he's like, all right, you boys need work. I got something for you. Go downtown, go off on Federal Street, go talk to Leo. You know what? Or no, I'm sorry. He said, go talk to the rat. And the rat will take care of you guys. And
nothing good ever happens.
And I said, well, hold on. Wait, what's his name? The rat. I'm like, what's his name? Oh, well, Leo the rat. And so me and Corey go down there, and we go see Leo the rat. And he wasn't a rat because he ratted people out. He actually looked...
No, if you get that nickname, you're not alive.
Right, exactly. But he actually looked like he had a really mousy
Which is
nose.
not nice, but okay.
Right, no, and he knew it. He like played up on it. He was like, he would do this thing where he would like, chop his teeth. And like, oh, you fucking weirdo. And he'd wear these weird flamboyant things when he'd go and golf, which he would go golf at like noon in the middle of the day. But we had this job where we would go to this warehouse, and our job, we literally moved boxes from one side of a warehouse to the other side of the warehouse, right? And me and my buddy Corey, we were 16 years old, right? We're driving a forklift around. We used to like do.
Oh, you probably thought that was awesome.
Oh, we did. We loved it. I mean, we used to try to like do like high kicks and karate and shit on the boxes, and we would shrink wrap each other to like the boxes, and then like pick each other up and drive each other around the warehouse in the forklift. Like it was just like.
That's a little weird of a reveal, but
I
okay.
mean, listen, you've been stuck in a warehouse that's dark and hot in the summer, right? That's in the fucking valley in Youngstown for hours and weeks. And after a while, you get bored. So it's just like, hey, let me shrink wrap you to these boxes.
I'm not saying I've never done anything dumb on a construction site, because I
right.
did.
I mean, it just got fucking weird. But that was our job. And then, so the one day we asked, like, Leo, like, yo, what are we doing? Like, we moved the boxes from this side of the warehouse to the other side of the warehouse. He's like, oh yeah, well that's what you do. Like, well, yeah, no, we know that's what we do, but like, why are we doing this? Oh well, I mean, because some boxes are new, other boxes are old, and the old boxes, we do stuff with them. I'm like, what do you do? He's
your friend was a 60-year-old Jewish man. What?
And
that
so
was bad.
he never explained what the fuck we were doing. We never did. We just got paid in cash. Every day,
Of course,
right? Every day, like not every week. Like we got paid in cash every day. That was it. And then we showed up, and then at the end of the summer, he was like, all right, we're going back to school. He's like, all right, good luck, whatever. I think he gave us money for a donation to the Ursuline Gridiron Fund or whatever, where we went to high school, and then he moved his office, and then I actually never saw him again. So I mean, it was weird. I don't really understand it. I know something was sketchy going on. Like, it made no sense what he did. I don't know how he actually made money, right? Because I was 16, but I know how business works. And he wasn't doing business. That's the problem, right? Like, there was no business to figure out.
You're not transacting.
So I don't know, but I mean, like, that was just, I mean, between that and some of the other shit, I mean, like, we saw plenty of it. And all that to say, watching The Sopranos, you see some of your real life things embodied on the big screen,
Right.
I mean, it was
the shady business contracts, right? Like, I want four no works and 3 no shows, where you're going to pay people to be on a construction job where they're never going to show up, or they're going to sit there and play cards.
Right.
And that's a kickback.
Right.
For,
I mean, but you
did a favor for.
But then back home you go to a construction. You
see
drive
those
by a
guys,
construction
you
site,
see 'em.
and they're just sitting there, and it's just like, hey, you guys going to do some work? And it's like, oh, go fuck yourself. And it's like, all right.
I'm working. I'm whistling at the women when they walk by. That's my job. Yeah. So anyway, I loved The Sopranos. I liked the ending. At first, I was a bit annoyed by it. David Chase was the producer. Dexter was horrible. Californication. So Californication is about. It's played by David Duchovny, who's an actor I'm a huge fan of. X-Files. And in Californication, he's a writer from New York. He drinks way too much. He gets involved in terrible situations. He chases women. He fucks up his love life. And he's basically a likable guy with a code, but constantly fucking up and always boozing too hard and putting him.
He's like you, except he gets laid.
I can't say what it is about him that I like, but there's got to be something there. Yeah, he gets laid a lot more than me. But yeah, I mean, I can relate to like a snarky, wise ass type who I wish I didn't relate to as well as I do. If you watch the show, you'll get to it. So that was a show I recommended you watch. Seasons 1 through 3 are great. If you punt after that, you'll get a kick out of it. I think season 4 is 4 or 5. There's a bunch of seasons where he always gets jobs that he hates, but he's generally broke. So he's chasing money, and he works for a rapper named Samurai Apocalypse, who's played by RZA from Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh my God, Jim. Oh my God. Oh my God. Damn it, Jim.
Did that make you like it or not want to watch it?
No, we're not even about whether I'm going to watch it. It's RZA. It's the RZA from Wu-Tang Clan, not RZA.
I can't
damn
pronounce
it.
RZA.
RZA.
Fine, well, that is how I would pronounce it if I wasn't.
Right.
They're all capitalized in his fucking name. I'm sorry.
There's no periods between the letters.
There are no periods between the letters. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't properly cut it. The punctuation by a rap artist. That's on me. Ooh, you got me, Steve.
Well, the fact you said it's RCA, and I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then you said the Wu-Tang Clan, and it clicked.
So you have to be shocked by the fact that I knew who the Wu-Tang Clan members were, but did not know who RZA was.
You don't know the Wu-Tang Clan members.
They're no one to they're nothing to fuck with.
Are they?
They are nothing to fuck with.
Yeah? Based off of what?
Chappelle Show.
Okay. Okay. Name another member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
ODB.
Name another one.
I'm 2 for 2. I'm done.
No. Well, there's 9.
There's
so
other.
you're
Okay,
not. So name another one.
I got 2 more than you ever thought I would, even though I did.
I knew the next one coming was ODB, and I almost said other than Old Dirty Bastard, but I gave you that freebie. So
that's all I got.
You got the RZA and ODB.
Wu-Tang Clan was drafted by the Asians, so I'm going to go with
one other person in the Wu-Tang Clan other than ODB who's dead.
Yeah.
Who dead?
Who dead? By the way,
dead.
Yeah. I do not know any other members of the Wu-Tang Clan.
One?
No. Do I know them and just don't know the
There may be one. I think there's one that you would know. You probably don't recognize that he was a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. Method Man?
Oh, sure. Oh, yes. Also,
sure.
From the Chappelle Show. He was a regular on Chappelle.
Right.
All right. Anyway,
you know why? Because Chappelle likes the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes, he does. Mm-hmm. And they were fucking hilarious. And you got to diversify your bonds.
Diversify your bonds, nigga.
I was going to take the gratuitous one there. That was Wu-Tang Financials. All right. Anyway, Californication, first 3 seasons. I guess throw a show my way, and then I'll come back.
So I think that you should be watching Marvel shows on Netflix, right? If you're watching the movies are great. Avengers, Black Panther, the Captain America ones, especially the first Captain America, I thought was really good, but I could see where it kind of wasn't like the turn on everybody wanted it to be. But when you saw Winter Soldier and Civil War, I thought those were done by the Russo brothers, who the Russo brothers are local guys from Cleveland. And they've just done a phenomenal job. They did, and the Russo brothers did this most recent Avengers,
Infinity
War, and I thought they did a great job. I mean, I thought it was a solid.
I still
movie.
haven't seen it.
It did everything it was supposed to do. It happened on different planes. It was a captivating story. It was funny. It was quippy. It was dramatic. It was everything that you wanted to be. It was cinematically, like, you're like, wow. And then, I mean, it had an amazing ending, like everything about it. Like, they just knocked it out of the park. The second Infinity Wars, I'm sure, will be just as good, which will, I'm sure, introduce Captain Marvel, who is a crazy superhero character who happens to be a female that's going to be played by Brie Larson. So, that's coming. But I think that to fill the gap between now and the next Marvel movie, I think you should be watching the shows on Netflix, and they're great. They give you an insight into the Marvel universe on a more micro level. And for me, I would start with Luke Cage for obvious reasons.
It's too black for me.
All right, I know there's so many black people in it, but it is a really good show.
We talked about that a while ago, right? How
we
got offended by
a lot of people were offended. Like, there's so many black people.
It's too bad Ben Shapiro never commented on that, because I'm sure he would have taken it perfectly in stride.
Right. I mean, but there was just no room for him to comment. Like, no sane person had any room to comment. I mean, that's what the comic was. It was about a black superhero in a black neighborhood who was doing black guy things, right? And he did it all by the book. And he was, big, bad, and strong, but he had a moral code and a moral compass. So there wasn't a lot to critique there. So I would probably start with Luke Cage. Now, I would tell you, hurry up to get through Luke Cage, to get to Daredevil, but we'll get to that.
All
What's
right.
your next?
All right.
pitch?
So my next one, you've done Dexter, you've done Sopranos. Californication is currently on Netflix, by the way, so you don't need to go to Showtime Prime or Showtime whatever to get to it. What other one would I recommend? I'm currently watching something I'm embarrassed I'm watching. It's called 13 Reasons Why, and it's about a girl who committed suicide. And I'm not
dark.
Yeah, and it's weird, but it's really teeny. So I'm not going to directed towards teens. So I'm not going to. I just got through Stranger Things. Have you seen Stranger Things?
I haven't.
It's not at all what I expected. So here's what was bad about Stranger Things in my mind. Two of the main characters.
Just be careful. This show is beloved by
by a lot of people.
everyone.
By a lot of people. Yes.
So be careful. Don't get us attacked.
Here's what I hated about it.
Don't get us fucked up. Okay, cool. This is what I hated about the show.
No,
Damn it,
hold on. Winona Ryder and Matthew Modine are two of the main characters, and they show their age. And I loved Winona Ryder when I was a kid. She's roughly my age, and she. I mean, I'm not saying in Beetlejuice, that would be creepy, but she was in all those movies with
Where's this going?
Just I always thought Winona Ryder was hot, and I liked her when I was in my younger years, and she plays a 40-something mom in this movie. I'm like, oh fuck, that's Winona Ryder, who I loved in Reality Bites and all these other movies. And Matthew Modine is just a white-haired, creepy old scientist. And
Matthew Modine has always kind of creeped me out, though. So
really?
Yeah, I mean,
Full Metal Jacket, or
yeah,
what? Okay.
yeah. I mean, all of it. I mean, like all his roles, you're always kind of like, I don't know.
See,
he sounds like a guy who tried to slip a finger in your asshole while you're sleeping.
And I'm the one who's bringing stuff. All right, I got fingered by Matthew Modine, and I love the movie Vision Quest. What?
Fuck at it. Okay.
I love that movie. I love the soundtrack.
It's the soundtrack. Oh my god.
It's too white.
Oh my god, yes.
It's incredibly white.
Oh my
I love
God,
that. I love that movie, and I love.
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't love Full Metal Jacket, but I like it a lot, and I think
Full Metal Jacket is a good movie. It's hard to like a lot. I mean, just
it's a brutal
first
movie.
The first half hour of that movie is just awful.
Yes.
So,
Well, the whole movie is pretty awful. I mean,
I mean, once you get past the
fact that they're in Vietnam and
I mean, once you get past D'Onofrio
blowing his brains out.
Yeah, it actually gets lighter.
It gets better. Oh, it gets lighter. Yeah,
right. Once they actually go to Vietnam, things get better.
There's things about that movie that I really liked, but I had a Vietnam vet work for me years ago, and I asked him once, we were having a few drinks, and I said, "What movies, about that war, do you think get it?" And that was the one he mentioned. And I really, and he said, "Yeah, because basically, throw all the other stuff aside." You basically spent your days trying to get laid and trying to survive, not necessarily basically in that order. Like you were just, you're these young guys, you're out there, you're just trying to find a distraction. You're trying to find something to fuck. And then, you hated the guys who outranked you, who could, get some without paying for it. And he said that movie really hit home for him because as a 19-something, and this guy's name is Mike. He, this is getting dark in a hurry, but he was hurt badly in Vietnam. He was with the Air Force and loading a plane and hit a landmine type device. And he was at my apartment with his wife and a few other friends in shorts, and his legs looked like they were sewed together by Dr. Frankenstein. I mean, he had gotten busted up bad. And when you're getting a surgery in that situation, you're just getting put back together. So they made no effort to be cosmetically appealing. Anyway, all right, that totally derailed. So anyway, I do recommend Stranger Things. I just hated seeing those actors and actresses.
Okay.
And it was definitely different than I expected. I mean, it was a weird.
Well, you know why I haven't seen Stranger Things?
It's scary.
Right, because I think there's monsters, and I hate monsters, and it gives me bad dreams.
There are monsters. There are, and the truth is, once you get through it, you'll be fine. But getting through it, you'll not like it very much, so you might not like me for that. Okay, your second one.
My second one is Daredevil.
Okay.
On Netflix.
Now, I think of the Ben Affleck movie.
Stop.
All right.
Just
but it's the same character, right?
It's the same character, but it's just and more so. You need to watch Daredevil just to get you to Punisher, because they introduced the Punisher in Daredevil, and the Punisher is really the series that you want to watch. And there's only a season.
Okay.
But I think both Daredevil, you need to watch Daredevil and Punisher so that those kind of are just stuck together. I know it's more than one. So you need to watch 2 seasons of Daredevil and a season of the Punisher, but it is well worth it.
All right.
If you just separate yourself from the problem that I have with people who are
is something I need? Like I watch TV in 2 different ways. One of them I'm zoned in and I'm paying attention to detail.
Yeah, you need to pay attention.
Okay, and say some of them I've just got on in the background.
With the comic books, like you have to understand what a comic book is, right? Like it's a story that's told frame by frame,
right? And
it's written, it's art, it's drawing,
right.
images, all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of detail, and the shows are detailed as well. You need to pick up on those, and you're going to need to remember names and all that other sort of stuff.
Okay.
So
not background noise, which is what the
it
second.
It is definitely not
like,
that.
When I watch Bill Maher, it's background noise. Like
Yeah,
I care what he's saying, I care what's going on, but I don't need to dial in. All right,
I got you. Cool. So you want to watch these shows intently, but I guarantee you, if you do, you will get sucked in. And want to know more about these worlds. But what I will say, the people who are critical of comic book shows, they're so obnoxious, right? Why is Batman a superhero? He doesn't have any superpowers. Like, he's just fucking rich. Like, get over it. Oh my God, this Superman guy. So he flies and has laser eyes.
You get 2 kinds of obnoxious though. You get that guy, and then you get the person who knows the comic book or knows the comic series, and then watches the show. Is like, Daredevil's right. He had size 10 feet, not 12. What the fuck? Like, those people are brutal too,
and those people are equally as bad.
Yes.
Stay away from both.
Yes.
If you're criticize comic books because you can't figure out why Batman's a superhero guy, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't talk to me about it. You're not funny. You're not cute. You're not smart. You're just annoying. Go away. And then also, if you know comic books inside and out and are hypercritical of any small minor deviation from the comic book, then you just go back to mom's basement and stay.
Right. That person is not actually critiquing. They're just trying to show their knowledge.
That's exactly what they're doing.
They're trying. I know this better than you.
I know more than you do.
So I don't have another series to recommend to you. I have a movie followed by a podcast to recommend.
Okay.
And they're both based on the movie is called Wonderland, and the podcast is called The Wonderland Murders. And it is about
what does Wonderland sound familiar?
Because I've recommended it to you before.
Oh, okay.
Which
means I still haven't watched it.
Which means you still haven't watched it. Yes, I know. So this movie is the movie and the story, and the movie follows the podcast very accurately. So I'm going to count on them both being pretty well done. Yeah, accurate. It's about porn star John Holmes. And
big old date. Died of AIDS.
Died of AIDS in 1987 or 88. And the movie is Dylan McDermott, Val Kilmer.
Who plays John Holmes?
Val Kilmer.
Ew.
Yeah. And Eric Bogosian and Carrie Fisher has a role in it.
How old is it?
It's at least 10 years old, probably more like 15.
Oh.
But anyway, John Holmes was implicated in a brutal quadruple murder. Have you ever seen Boogie Nights, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, in Boogie Nights, there's that scene where they rob the guy. That robbery is based on what really happened in Hollywood, and the guys who did it were living on Wonderland Avenue in California, and the retaliation against those guys gets them killed. And the movie's fantastic, and the story is fucking crazy. I mean, John Holmes, who is from Asheville, Ohio, actually, not to brag about it, he was actually kind of a scumbag, but he was very well endowed. Anyway, the movie called Wonderland is great, and the podcast, The Wonderland Murders, done by Wondery, and they've got a bunch of true crime series podcasts. They've got another one about Charles Manson called Young Charlie. So I would say if you're looking for entertainment, those two things are good. I recommend the Wonderland Murders and the movie Wonderland.
Right. Probably not going to happen.
Check out you will love this movie. You'll be amazed by this movie.
If you can get me,
I got you 10 minutes into it. You'll want to see the rest.
I will.
There's drugs, sex, pornography.
I mean, those are all my things. I feel like you're just doing a bad job of selling it. Maybe
I suck at sales. We know this.
Yes, this is true. So my next one for you is another Marvel one.
Of course. Okay.
Jessica Jones.
I know. I've seen that on. It's like popped up on my Netflix feed, but I know nothing about it.
She's female. She's got superpowers. She's a detective. She drinks whiskey. A lot of it.
A drinking sexy female detective who drinks whiskey.
Right.
I like it.
Sexy, I don't know.
No?
If I mean, you might think she's sexy. I don't know. She's a little.
She's drinking whiskey, so she's got off to a good
right.
start.
I mean, she's a woman drinking whiskey, so that is a great start in terms of appeal in my book. And it's a good story. That first season, it is captivating.
Is it like is there like a mystery that goes from start to finish, or
it's hard to explain without really it's just.
I think I'll start with that one. I mean, this one's got my
actually, and you can start with this one. Actually, it doesn't technically matter where you start. They'll all eventually get you to the same place, and there's a couple themes that are consistent through all of the Marvel shows on Netflix.
All right.
There's a few characters that you keep seeing over and over again. They drop little Easter eggs, and you're like, oh, hey,
I love when they do that.
I love that shit too.
It's
you're like, ooh, look what I figured! I figured it out. Yay, I'm so smart.
Exactly.
I know 100,000 other people did it, but yay. But it's a good show. I thought that they just Marvel and Netflix have done a very good job with taking characters that are not necessarily mainstream comic book characters and giving them voice, giving them life, giving them color, telling stories in a compelling way that are entertaining and fun and make you want to watch again. So I would strongly.
I will make a commitment to you. I will download episode 1 of Jessica Jones.
Okay.
For my flight tomorrow. So
great call. I will. What I will tell you is, download episode 1 and 2. Just do that for me.
All right, that's fine.
Download episode 1 and 2 because you'll watch it on your flight, and then you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna want to watch. I want to see what happens.
I will. That will be my rather than continuing on with 13 Reasons Why, which I will finish because I am intrigued. But that will be my flight. My flight tomorrow. All right. So then.
So based off of Jessica Jones, here's my thing. I want to talk ladies. I want to talk women.
I love talking about ladies.
I want to talk top 5 of yours, top 5 entertainment, like top 5 female entertainers, whether they're in a movie or they're a performer, music, whatever, if they're performing or if they're in a movie that you just say, you know what, I need to see it, and they need to be alive.
They need to be alive.
Okay, or not. You know what? We'll just go with what you got because I know.
Okay, well,
we'll go with what you got.
So I, with the way you asked it, I said all entertainment. So I included musicians.
Yeah. So did I.
So musicians and
how many dead people you got?
1.
Okay, so we'll leave the list as is.
Okay.
I meant to throw in alive, but I didn't. So
well, she's not alive, but she is.
Is she
should
frozen?
Be.
Is she
Amy Winehouse?
Oh yeah. So I left her off my list because she's not alive, but she's one of my. I think you know.
I
Amy
love
Winehouse is just like her voice, everything about her. Like her end was tragic, but I was a huge fan of hers. It still kicks my ass that the one opportunity I had to see her, I wasn't able to take advantage. But I totally get that. So, who's your number 5?
My number. Okay, we're doing it that way. My number 5. See, all right. So I also gravitate towards comedy.
Yeah.
And I was struggling on this, and when we first started talking about this, I thought you were asking me like who are my 5 most influential people, and one of the people I named was Ellen DeGeneres, and I was trying to choose a female comic that I just love, and Amy Schumer was high on my list for a while, but she kind of lost me with her last special. I love Heather McDonald. Heather McDonald is a comedian who's just fucking amazing. Kathleen Madigan is amazing. But I went with Ellen because I first saw Ellen DeGeneres on the Rodney Dangerfield Young Comedian special in like 1986. And she was hilarious then. And forget how powerful she's become in the entertainment industry and her show and, you know, whatever. As a stand-up comedian, her long-form style of twisted jokes is fucking amazing. I mean, she is just a great comic, and she's turned that into an empire. Yeah. And so for that reason, I just really like and I enjoy her. I mean, she does bits where it starts one way. I mean, I'm not going to try to recreate her bits. You're welcome. But her ability to just tell a tale, take a bunch of twists and turns, throw a bunch of laughs in there, and do that brilliantly, plus all the other things, I just admire and respect the hell out of Ellen DeGeneres.
Interesting. I mean, 86, I think I was 6 years old.
Right.
So I can't,
yes, I know.
You know.
I mean, I was too young to be watching that. The other people on this were Sam Kinison was on that same thing. I mean, we're talking. Christ. There were like 5 or 10 people.
Looking at Sam Kinison makes my blood pressure go up because I know how high his had to have been.
Yeah. Well.
So that's interesting, and it's funny. You know, I think of Ellen from Finding Nemo, Finding Dory. That character just really stands out for me. That she did.
She is so fucking talented.
Right. I mean, she is a really talented woman.
Acting, whatever. Right. So good.
And her show, not her talk show, but her TV show was actually funny and entertaining and then groundbreaking. When she came out as a lesbian on that show, it rocked ABC, it rocked the entertainment industry.
Right.
It ultimately ended up ending the show, but then kind of formed into the Ellen DeGeneres show, her talk show. A little bit thereafter. And
I also think she's a genuine person. I remember when Obama gave her some medal and he hung them, like it was a Medal of Courage or something, and he put that medal around her neck, and she just had tears streaming down her face. I mean, she was so. I got teary watching her get teary over getting recognized as you've represented and underrepresented. Getting teary now. Group. So I just, again, huge respect for her.
I fully agree, and that's a good call. So my number 5 is Angela Bassett.
Okay, great actress.
Angela Bassett, like if there's a movie with Angela Bassett in it, I'm just gonna see it, right? And if you think about who she's played, and Angela Bassett was Tina Turner, and Angela Bassett looked nothing like Tina Turner. The skin complexion, the build, nothing. And you were convinced that she, like you watched Angela Bassett as Tina Turner. You heard it. When I hear Tina Turner songs, sometimes I actually think of Angela Bassett because she played her so well, right?
That's impressive. When you can play someone who you know,
right?
It's one thing if someone plays. Like when
somebody plays Winston Churchill,
right? It's like, okay, I basically know what they look like and whatever, but you know Tina Turner inside and out, and an actor to play, an actress to play them.
For me, the thing is, like my father will tell you that they knew my parents had some concerns with me at a young age. I'm watching Mad Max Thunderdome, Tina Turner, and she actually had a song she was performing, we don't need another hero. And she's performing, there was a video where she's got this short dress, and she was known for her high heels and her strong legs. And I was drawn to it. Right, as a however old I was, 4 years old, whenever
I was going to say
Thunderdome
that movie came out when I was in junior high, or maybe
I think I was like 4 or 5 years old when that movie came out, and my father will tell you I was glued to the screen and like pointing at her legs, like, "What is this? What is happening here?"
I don't know what this is, but I like it.
Right, exactly. And so I was always a big Tina Turner fan. So when the movie came out, I with Angela Bassett in it, I watched it, thoroughly enjoyed it. Her and not Samuel L. Jackson, Lawrence Fishburne playing Ike Turner, who again also looked nothing like Ike Turner, but man, you fucking hated Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah,
until like The Matrix came out. It just like they both did a phenomenal job, and they're both phenomenal actors. and I just love Angela Bassett. Now that was one of the roles she played. She also played Betty Shabazz in Malcolm X. You believe that she was Malcolm X's wife. She also played Katherine Jackson. She was the mother of Michael Jackson. She was Rosa Parks. She was Biggie's mom.
That's
she
right.
Was,
in Notorious.
In Notorious, she was Coretta Scott King. In a movie, and then she was fucking Black Panther's mom in Black Panther.
I haven't seen Black Panther
She is the
yet.
strongest
Okay.
black woman in ever.
So we've had Cody Brown, Pound Cake from the Alan Cox Show, sit in for you on our old show.
Right.
He wants his mom to get played by Angela Bassett in the movie about his life.
Who wouldn't?
For that reason, I need a
Right?
strong
Who
black woman.
wouldn't? Right, like I mean, if I go and I do something big, I mean, Jesus, I mean, yes, call Angela Bassett to play my mother, please.
So I mean, that's like a recurring theme
Right,
on that
I mean,
show.
like, it's just like
and,
that's.
and
Listen,
Cody's a good kid. I love Cody, but
if you're black and you think that you're gonna do something worth making a movie about, you want the person to play your mom. You want the person playing your mom to be Angela Bassett. Like that's just who she is.
I get that.
But now the flip side of it is that she can also be like sexy action woman chick, right? Like I mean, she's made a couple of movies where she was, a detective, or like there was that sci-fi movie, and I can't remember the name of it because the movie itself wasn't that great.
Was it the Ralph Fiennes movie with the?
Yeah.
What the fuck was the name of that movie?
Where they were plugging into the back of the head?
No. It was no. Well, they were.
It was that one.
It was. It takes place right around New Year's Eve in Los Angeles. Tom Sizemore is in it. He's the and Juliette Lewis. What the fuck is the name of that movie? I love that movie.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh god, she's the badass chick that bails out Ralph Fiennes.
Yes.
Oh god, what was the name of that? It was. All right.
Either way,
talk for a second.
So, either way, like for me, Angela Bassett is if there's a movie with her in it, I see her name, I'm gonna go see it. Right? I'm just either if I don't go see it in the theater because it's hard because of work and schedule and the kid and everything else, then I will see it on pay-per-view or however I watch Netflix, YouTube, however I get movies now. It's weird. There's so many different ways that we have access to media, but nonetheless, Angela Bassett is my number 5. She's 59, by the way. And
is she? Well, I haven't seen her in a movie in a while. Well, she was just in Black Panther.
Well, she was just in Black Panther, and I think they actually made an effort to make her look older than she is. Like they gave her these like gray dreadlocks, and I think they gave her some fine lines that she actually doesn't have. Because I saw something with her on the red carpet for Black Panther, and she looked younger than the young actress that was like standing right next to her, and she just looked phenomenal. I mean, she's big on fitness. She went to Yale, by the way. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, she went to Yale. I think she's got a like some sort of advanced degree. But I saw her like on the red carpet for a Black Panther event, and I mean, the dress she was wearing fit her like a glove. She looked amazing, like incredibly fit, strong, but still feminine and sexy. It was unbelievable.
Strange Days.
Strange Days. Yes, that is the name of it. It's such a weird movie, but I love it. But Angela Bassett, she is my number 5. She's in it. I'm going to see it, period.
All right. I'm going to mix my list up.
Go ahead.
Because,
go ahead.
Because I'm going to throw out one of my younger day heartthrobs that I still love. And whenever I'm like, writing an article or doing whatever and put my headphones on, I'm looking for music. I grew up loving Joan Jett. Okay. And her song, I Hate Myself for Loving You, is such a, her first big song was I Love Rock and Roll. I love rock and roll. That was the first 45 I ever bought. It was typical 80s rock.
Yeah.
But the just that song got to me. I thought she was sexy as fuck. She's in a movie called Bright Lights Big City with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
And I just always she is someone who is from my childhood to my young teen years till today. I found sexy. I love her voice. Women who can just rock out really like. I like Dolores O'Riordan from the Cranberries. She would have been my second one on my no longer with us list. But women who really just rock out have an appeal to me, and she definitely does that. She was definitely the first one. So Joan Jett. Recent inductee to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Rock Hall located here
in Cleveland, Ohio. Yes, sir.
And if you look at the Rock Hall from a sky view, it is designed to look like a record player. I don't know how many
Oddly,
people know that.
I've never, the number of times I've flown into and out of Cleveland, I've never gotten a good look at the Rock Hall from the sky.
I've gotten one, and I looked at it, and I couldn't figure out what I was looking at. We were coming in over, and I was like, God damn, I knew it looked like something, but I couldn't, like, I'm not sharp enough to say I immediately identified it, but I said those are specific geometric shapes, and they're connected for a reason to look like something I'm supposed to recognize, but I can't figure out what. Like I just couldn't.
All right.
I didn't have enough context to put all the clues together, and then I, sure enough, jumped on the interweb, and I only figured this out like a year ago. I jumped on the interweb, and sure enough, it is designed to look like, from a sky view, a record player. So,
I did not know that either. So that's good Cleveland public relations. Who's your number 4?
CLE, live CLE. My number 4 is Helen Mirren.
I know. All right, Helen Mirren is an actress.
She's an actress, and for me, I just think she's a very attractive, mature older lady.
She's an older lady.
She's 72 years old.
Did she play M in the? No,
you're thinking of Judi Dench.
I am thinking of Judi Dench. Sorry.
No, Helen Mirren. She was in. There were these series of movies, Red 1 and Red 2. It was about a group of older spies who were
retired, extremely dangerous.
Yeah, yes, and dealing with all that sort of shit. And she was in those movies, which highly entertaining. She was one of the most entertaining aspects of those movies. And I don't know why. Like I have a close
that is no,
it's
that's
bizarre.
Obscure.
It's
cool.
obscure.
It's cool,
it is bizarre. Like I have a friend from high school, one of my best female friends. She's obsessed with like Joe Biden, right? And I make fun of her all the time because she's like, "Oh, Joe Biden's so handsome." I'm like, "No, he's not. He's a fucking weirdo." and she's just like, "All right, well, you would like bang Helen Mirren." I'm like, "Yeah." So, all right, we're even.
You should.
It's weird.
You shouldn't have given out that information,
right? I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, I do think that she, for whatever reason, I'm just drawn to her. There was this show called Elizabeth that she played,
Queen Elizabeth,
Queen Elizabeth, like through like the younger middle years, and it was crazy dramatic. Like it was a mini series, right? Like it wasn't like a long-term show. But it just like I was glued to it, and like embarrassingly so. Like it was in the middle 2000s. Like I think it was like my first year of law school, and like I would come home from the library, and like I would like watch this show like intently.
If you gave me 1,000 guesses of who would be on your list, Helen Mirren never gotten on there,
right? But I mean, and then she was, and then she pops up in the last Fast and Furious 8.
That's perfect for you,
right? Like, and she plays
I haven't seen this. I can't help you.
You haven't?
No.
Oh my God! Don't even.
I know you love that franchise.
Don't get me started on that franchise. People make fun of me all the time, and then I shut them down on it.
I don't judge you. It's not my thing, but I do not judge you. I know you love that franchise. It's fast cars, hot women, dudes doing crazy shit. It's your thing.
It's simple.
Yeah,
it is fucking simple.
It is
badass cars, hot women, fight scenes, guns, easy.
Yeah, it is.
Right. It is.
You want to turn your
easy.
mind off. I remember when you and your wife went out to see Fast and Furious 8, and you were a kid in a candy store.
Oh my God, it was great. It was great.
But anyway, very, very interesting choice. I'm shocked to hear that.
You and me both. Because it's funny. Like I'm going through this list and I'm thinking of people. I'm just like, ooh, Helen Mirren. What's she doing lately?
All right, so
You think she likes black guys?
I do not know.
I'd be interested to see. I mean,
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
That didn't get weird. I'm going to throw a really weird one at you.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga. I love Lady Gaga. Fuck, I think she's hot as hell.
Yeah, you would.
It's
weird how this thing is going because who's your first one?
What was Joan Jett, Ellen
Right.
DeGeneres?
Okay.
Ellen DeGeneres is actually my first one.
Right. So Ellen, Joan Jett. Okay. All right. So we're good.
So to me, Lady Gaga is Madonna 2.0. She had the shock factor. She did a bunch of weird shit early on. To me, she actually annoyed...
Lady Gaga. Well, first of all, Lady Gaga's got a way better voice than Madonna.
Madonna in the early 80s. Okay. Madonna was a groundbreaker. I was not a fan of Madonna when she was super popular. In fact, I wasn't even a fan of Lady Gaga early when she would do the weird shit with wearing a suit of meat and all that. And one of the things that bothered me about her...
I love that about her.
Well, one thing that bothered me about her was she would
protein.
there's that. She would do stunts, and I'm like, you don't need to do stunts. You are that fucking talented. You don't need to be that. But having... Her early songs I thought were great. Some of her videos were really interesting. Bad Romance, for some reason, that song gets to me.
Does it make you cry?
It doesn't make me cry.
Everything makes you fucking cry. You always
Actually,
cry.
that's not true.
You were just crying earlier.
I did not cry.
You got teared up about. You were talking about a story about Ellen and Obama, and you started to tear up.
I am capable of emotion. I am not a regular crier, but I think
Nancy,
fuck off. But. Dick.
Sorry.
You're not sorry. Don't insincerely apologize to me. And fuck you. You get not only you get no bottle caps, you get one thrown at you, you prick. Anyway, I think she's sexy. I love her voice. I love her songs. She's got that style, whatever. I'm trying to like go, older. Jim,
listen. Lady Gaga is incredibly talented.
I agree.
Right, like that woman's voice is phenomenal. That record she did with Tony Bennett
that was crazy, wasn't it?
Oh my god, like I love it. Like, and you got to understand, I love my music range is vast,
very wide,
and I
will never forget sitting in your garage smoking a cigar with you, and you put on your playlist, and it was like, here's Frank Sinatra, here's DMX, it was like, okay,
and so I love. When she she did that album with Tony Bennett, I just thought like that it checked all the boxes for me because her voice was amazing. Tony Bennett's voice is historically amazing.
Right. I mean,
the songs were great, soothing and relaxing, and just got your mind to the right place, taking you to a different time. I loved it, and so I get that totally, and I think she's an attractive girl. She gets
very mixed reviews. Some people,
some people don't. I mean,
I think she's stunning.
She's got a sensuality to her. I think that I don't know her story, but if I had to guess, I feel like she probably went through some awkward years as a teenager and kind of discovered her own sexuality in her late teens, early 20s, and then kind of said, not only do I accept it, but I'm kind of going to exploit it. And she did, and it made her a pop star because she was discovered by Akon. Right?
That's right. No,
Akon, and I am a big fan of Akon, and they kind of and she, like, I remember she was a DJ. She was a DJ who she used to DJ like in a bikini.
You DJ'd in your Chicago days, right?
Yeah.
So not in a bikini. Hopefully.
Nope. No reason for me to do it in a bikini. I just take my shirt off.
Look at you, rock star. But I mean, I think she does. She does go multicultural, right?
Well, my whole point is that like she started off as a gimmick, right? Hey, I DJ in a bikini, and Akon was just like, I think you're more than just a DJ in a bikini. I've heard you sing, and you've got a pretty good voice. You need to start to really do more than just DJ in a bikini. And so she took that, and she said, fine, I'm going to do more than just DJ in a bikini. I'm going to sing, and I'm going to be weird as fuck and sensual and sexual as fuck. And then it's just blown up to this thing where now she is just this icon who, if you can't recognize her talent, then you don't understand it, which is not your fault, but don't talk about it, don't judge it. Right. And so I completely appreciate that. I do. I'm a big fan of hers as well. She's actually there's a song. Oh my God, she did a song, Poker Face.
Oh, I love that song.
Love Poker Face, right? Well, she remixed it with a group of rappers, right? Like Common and a couple other guys. That the remix to Poker Face, the rap version is probably one of my top 50 songs.
I'll YouTube it.
I don't know if you need to do that.
I will. I like.
You're not a rap guy. It's okay.
I'm not a rap guy, but I do.
It's okay.
I've learned to appreciate.
I just feel like it's
All right,
going to be an awkward 4.5 minutes.
You're going to awkwardly mock my whiteness. That's fine.
I'm not awkwardly. I'm not. It's not your whiteness.
You're going to accurately mock my awkward whiteness. Give me your number 3.
My number 3 is Lauryn Hill. And
really,
yeah. And here's the thing, Lauryn Hill. Man, I don't know if y'all remember. Lauryn Hill is just uber. Lauryn Hill was there was about a 3-year period where Lauryn Hill was literally an unstoppable force. Lauryn Hill had the momentum of Beyonce and Lady Gaga and all of them. Everything she put her voice to was a Billboard platinum hit. Her voice is amazing, and she could rap, and she just didn't sound like a 10-year-old boy rapping. Like when you hear Lauryn Hill with the Fugees, you know that's Lauryn Hill, right? It doesn't sound like Lil Bow Wow or Master P's Kid or some, like, that's Lauryn Hill. And when her voice had a force that you said, yep, I agree with that totally. And she was unbelievably gorgeous. She had a sex appeal that didn't need to be flaunted, right? Like she just wore regular clothes, right? Like she wore shorts and a shirt, and you're just like, oh man, you're hot.
I didn't see her enough in media, regularly to like see that and get moved by it. The Fugees were awesome.
Fugees,
I love the Fugees. And
I mean, Wyclef, Perez, but she, realistically, she made the Fugees, right? I mean, like we think back, and Wyclef is a whole different animal of just an unbelievably impressive human being, and what he's done for Haiti, and what he's done for human rights and civil rights and everything else.
I'm now hearing "Killing Me Softly" though.
Oh my God, right? But
Fuck,
I mean, but that song, like she took a song by Roberta Flack. That was an amazing song.
Already great, yeah.
And then she made that song historically great. Like when people hear "Killing Me Softly," they only think of Lauryn Hill. There are people who don't even know who Roberta Flack is, and it's not because Roberta Flack isn't talented. It's because Lauryn Hill was that good when she sang that song. Like, listen, I hear "Killing Me Softly," I sing that song like I'm a high school girl who got dumped by a boyfriend, right? Like, it's just like, you need to hear and feel my soul on this shit.
And I'm the one who cries so
right?
much, okay.
Like, you do. I mean, because you always fucking cry.
Two. Oh, shit, in the pen.
Right? That's what you get.
Now
now I have a bottle cap.
Now I'm disarmed.
And now I have a bottle cap. You will lose an eye. So, but my thing, I mean, like, Lauryn Hill is one of those. Now, what happened was she ended up marrying a Marley and like moved to Jamaica and stopped paying taxes, and shit got weird, and she started making weird music, and like 50 Cent has a song where he's just like, I was listening to Lauryn Hill's new album and the shit ain't have no beat. Like, I don't know, she just went off the rails a little bit. But if we can get her to kind of come back to be old Lauryn Hill, I would chop off. I would go see it. without
Chop
a doubt.
off the
yeah, I
one
was gonna
finger?
say something else, but
Don't do that.
Well, what I was gonna say, I would chop off your leg to go see it.
Well,
and I realized
that
where
would-
you may take offense.
I
so.
might find that offensive. Yes.
But Lauryn Hill's my number three,
All right.
for sure.
My number 2 is Amy Winehouse. We kind of touched on that earlier.
Which is
Amy Winehouse was so fucking talented.
Valerie.
So much. She did she did acapella stuff when no one did acapella stuff. No one does,
And
right?
she killed it. Like before she got really strung out, when she would do some of the acapella versions of her songs or other people's songs, I mean, it blew everybody away. She was Adele before Adele, right? Adele was just smart enough, like, well, instead of drugs, I'm going to do food. But I mean,
better choice than coke
right, a
on
better
stage.
better choice than crack. And I mean, Amy Winehouse was just, and I think for me, she was a first. Like, there's been plenty of kind of what we call blue-eyed soul, right? People from the UK, from Europe, England, that have that are R&B artists, but they're white people from Europe, right? Like,
Right.
so it kind of has a different feel to it than the R&B here in the U.S. When we look at our R&B stars from Otis to Jackie to like Michael Jackson and Jodeci and Boyz II Men and everything else leading up to it. And then now you do have an influx of these, white European people coming in and saying, well, we can do R&B too. And it's kind of dominating the R&B realm, right? Like Tyrese Gibson.
Okay.
Unbelievable voice, right? Amazing voice.
Yep.
He converted to an actor, right? Transformers and other movies and things like that. But he is known because of his voice. The reason we know him is because of him singing in a fucking Coca-Cola commercial 25 years ago. And his voice hasn't changed. He's released a couple albums in the last 10 years you would never know because they've been overshadowed by the white European R&B singers. And so, me being a fan of classic R&B, I do sort of kind of push back a little bit against the, what's that guy? Sam, whatever the white guy, Sam Jackson? I don't know. There's a white guy, and you're not an R&B, you're not a music guy.
Yeah, right.
You're not a huge R&B guy. But I don't push back solely based on race, but I say, listen, it's a U.S. thing. It's an American-born thing, and it happens to be an American-born thing that comes out of the black community. So that's kind of what I support. The only thing is that I'm kind of soulless, and R&B annoys the shit out of me. But when I hear something good, I do try to hold on to it and embrace it. So
back to Amy Winehouse.
all
She
that's
was like a bridge to that, right?
well for her. When I heard her, she just. All that being said, right? Like, Tyrese, I got you. And Jodeci, I got you. And Boyz II Men. And then Amy Winehouse comes out and starts belting out a cappella these songs. And you're just like, yeah, guys, I totally got your back, but she's something else. And for me, she was just that shining, bright star. And then when you start to hear the rumors about the issues of drugs, and you're like, oh, she'll figure it out. They all deal with that. But she didn't figure it out.
No.
It ended up killing her, and that was a tough loss. That was a hard loss.
When she died, it was one of those things where you're not shocked, but you're punched in the face because
my biggest thing, and it's selfish, but it's damn. I wish I could have saw her live, healthy, sober, and that was just unfortunate.
even strung out, she was awesome. All right. That's my number 2.
So my number 2, somewhat predictable, I think, to a certain degree.
All right. My number 1's going to drive you nuts, huh?
But my number 2 is Angelina Jolie.
Really?
Yeah.
That actually surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, you and me both.
She's fucking gorgeous. I mean, there's no
Here's the
denying
problem
she's
with
gorgeous.
Angelina Jolie.
She fucked Brad Pitt.
Her attractiveness on a scale of 1 to 10 to me is somewhere not as high as you would think it would be. I generally like a woman just with more meat on her bones. That's just my design. or my style or my just whatever
Attractive. What
yeah,
you find
what I'm
attractive,
attracted to. But for me, it's her personality, her sensuality, her confidence, it's everything about who and what Angelina Jolie knows how sexy she is.
Yes.
And I feel like when she walks through a room, she's just like, I feel like her essence, just being around her, she's just like, hey, it just exudes all sorts of things, right? And they're all connected to sensuality and sexuality, and she just does that so well, and she knows it, and she does it in every role. And I don't care if it's the same character, but I mean, whether it's Salt, where she was the undercover Russian agent, or if it's the movie Wanted, where she was an assassin, or and there's kind of a theme, or it's Tomb Raider, or it's Gone in 60 Seconds. Whatever the movie is.
I was looking up which movie was she in with Morgan Freeman and James McAvoy, which was Wanted.
Yeah.
All right. That movie I've got mixed feelings about, but she in that movie is so fucking hot. And she gets out of the tub and she walks butt naked in that one scene. And
I
boy,
mean, she again,
maybe
she
revealing too much about myself, but oh my gosh, she was sexy.
Exudes a sexuality that you could, and if it's hard because with that type of personality and that type of energy, you could put her in a woman's body that is, heavy set or whatever, and I think I would still be attracted to her the same way, because that type of energy just attracts me.
And
right?
She's diverse as an actress, right? Like you said, she was in Salt. She's been in a bunch of kind of cheesy action movies. She was in that weird movie with where she plays like the FBI profiler, goes to Canada, and I'm drawing a blank on the actor. He was in Training Day. He was in the white guy in Training Day. Who's the
man.
This is
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke. She's in that movie with Ethan Hawke where she's like stalking the serial killer.
Oh, right. And then
he is the serial
Ethan
killer.
Hawke ends up being the serial.
Spoiler alert, it was 15 years ago, your fault.
And he ends up trying to come and kill her,
and then she fakes the whole thing.
Pregnant.
Right. Yeah. That movie's twisted and weird or whatever. Taking Lives is the name of that movie.
French guy dies. The bad guy from Bad Boys.
Yes. Give yourself one. Okay, well, he was also in that.
He was, but the French guy.
Oh, yeah.
The French guy. He was the bad guy in Bad Boys.
Yes.
The first Bad Boys. I have no idea what his name was.
Anyway.
The only French guy I could think of is Gerard Depardieu, and that's not him.
And I'm thinking of the dude from the...
You're thinking of Adrian Bourdin.
No, I'm thinking of... that's the right guy. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, he was in...
Bad Radio.
Bad Radio, exactly. We'll move on. The movie with Diane Lane and he was in SWAT. He was the bad guy in SWAT.
Jeremy Renner?
No, SWAT. He was the criminal in SWAT.
That guy. Oh, the French guy. Oh,
yeah,
okay, I get
that's
it.
what
I have no idea what his name is.
I do, but I can't remember. Anyway,
it's not worth it.
All right, it's not. You're right, it's not, and it would definitely turned to Bad Radio. All right, so my number one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put one on a T for you. I'm a white guy in my late 40s. If you were to say who is the whitest choice I could make, what would it be? Because it's going to be that. Or you want me to tell you and you can laugh at me afterwards?
And she's alive.
She's alive. She's still making movies. She's been an accomplished actress in several genres, but she's done the whole I don't take myself so seriously and done a lot of comedies. Jennifer Aniston.
That's fair.
I love Jennifer Aniston.
Listen, that's fair.
She was hot as fuck in Friends.
Here's the deal. I never watched Friends, and I refused to watch Friends because that show was so overly white. It was offensive.
They occasionally forced a black person in there, and it was like, all right, you're trying to do this
Right. That show was just too white for any self-respecting black person to actually watch and care about. But that's fine. Now listen, Jennifer Aniston in Horrible
Bosses was great,
and Meet the Millers,
great. And she's older and still sexy as fuck.
Yes, I can't even. She knocks it out of the park with those types of roles and just who she is and kind of that like flirty. I'm just living my life and trying to live my best life and be the best me. And
by the way, she's a monster.
By the way, I still work out and I wear lingerie and I look great and I feel great. I do a lot of yoga and I'm flexible. And I like my occasional, whiskey, vodka, whatever.
In Horrible Bosses, her character is so funny because she is literally a ruthless sexual predator.
Yes,
and
like
torturing Charlie Day,
dream woman,
and right, and so anyway, I like her so much because she's lasted. She went from Friends. She's been in a ton of movies since. She's been in a few serious movies. She's in some weird movie with Clive Owen where she's like a con artist who claims to get raped and then because of him, and so she's done some really dark, awful
movie
stuff.
Where he was working in the jail. Yeah. And then he had to I forget.
Yeah, anyway. It was anyway. She's done serious roles. She's done dark,
which is fine. I mean,
which is great.
That's range.
I don't really I respect that. I respect that
right.
When you can go from Rachel and Friends to this, and then to a comedic actress. And again, I think in We're the Millers, she's hilarious. Horrible Bosses, she's hilarious, and she's an awful human being in Horrible Bosses, but yet you love her.
That bad?
Well.
I didn't.
If you're going to get sexually harassed, that's who you want to get sexually harassed by.
Agreed.
All right, that was my number one. I've had the hots for her since 1990, whatever, when I first saw her, and I still think she's amazing.
So mine, yours wasn't as egregious or obvious as you made it out to be. Mine might be though.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Beyonce?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, here's the deal. She's amazingly hot.
Yes, she is.
And that woman performs, and you watch. When she did, she's got a song called "Crazy in Love," and she performed it. And listen, I watch a lot of pretty aggressive porn, so it takes a lot to get me to the point where it's just like, you know what, I need to go to another room. But her performance on the Grammys of Crazy in Love.
Yes.
No, wait, it wasn't Crazy in Love. It was Drunken in Love. Or whatever the
Crazy
song
in
was.
Love. No, it's Crazy in Love. Is the one song she's got.
No, this was off. This is a couple albums ago. It was. I think it was Drunken in Love. It wasn't Crazy in Love. It was Drunken in Love. That's what it was. Drunken in Love. And like she's literally talking about where Jay-Z and her had a night out. They go out, they get bombed, and they start fucking in the limo, and they end up fucking in the kitchen, and it's her in a bathing suit on a chair at the Grammys on stage. She is sweaty, and the wind is blowing her hair, and I'm like, oh my God, this is too much for me to handle. I need to not watch this anymore. Like, that's how crazy it was. Just look it up. Like, look up Beyonce Grammy performance and you'll figure out which one I'm talking about. But like, she just did something at Coachella. She did this, like, it was basically, she did a Facebook Live performance of her exclusive performance at Coachella, which is this crazy concert that happens. It's a multi-artist concert that happens in California every year. I mean, like, if you're an artist, to perform at Coachella, it is the kind of pinnacle of performances other than like the Grammys and a few other things. And she did this thing where she incorporated like historically black bands and like dance and like just all this shit, but she did it the way that only Beyonce could do it. And
she is incredibly sexy,
right? Like, she's
incredibly talented,
like,
and she can't do anything without it being the entertainment news of the day.
Right. I mean, like, she walks out of her, like, she can't walk out of, like, she can walk out wearing just a pair of sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and it literally, like, whatever she's wearing, like, if it's a company, like, if she walked out wearing female Under Armour sweatpants and female Under Armour a sweatshirt, that would boost Under Armour sales by probably 50 to 100%. Right? Like, you know, The Rock came out with all his Under Armour gear, and Under Armour, you know, their stock went through the roof. If Beyonce did that for Under Armour, they would be an unstoppable force in
Women's fashion, yes.
In women's, you know, sports retail fashion. Like, she moves, she comes out wearing clothes, and people like literally like just lose their shit. And the reason why, she makes clothes look good, right? Like, I mean, you look at her and you're like, maybe the clothes are good or bad, I don't know, but it's because they're on Beyonce, which is why they look fine right now.
Yeah, she is absolutely gorgeous, super, super talented.
Right.
And being part of a power couple moves her up that much more. Right.
And Hove is one of my favorite. Like, Jay-Z is probably my top artist in terms of hip hop, and we can go through a, you know, top list of hip hop artists. Yeah. But
you can do your top 5. I can do my 2.
you can do your 1.
I know 3.
You know 3. I mean, which means that you have one.
RZA and I go way back.
Oh my god!
All right,
I can't believe you called him RZA. Like, literally called him RZA, like, thinking that was correct. Like,
yes, I did.
I just, it's amazing. Like, I can't. I kind of want to tell my friends, but then they'll be like, "Why are you doing?" I'm not going to.
Go ahead. Dude, we're
I know we're on a show.
It's
I guess
we will have to listen to this to get through.
I kind of want to just.
He's really funny, but it'll make you watch Californication.
Yeah. But, you know what? Holy shit! You know what's funny? RZA is in Taking Lives.
Where?
RZA. So in that movie Taking Lives, he's also in American Gangster. RZA is the black guy that on the team, like, when Russell Crowe gets his group of guys together.
Yeah.
RZA's the one who, like, when they go into the housing project
with the sledgehammer.
No, he's the one. He's like walking down the hallway, like,
hey, I need something.
Let me get it. And then boom, and they all come
shit.
in. That's RZA.
I'll have to rewatch that.
Yeah,
I'll have to rewatch that.
You're so white sometimes.
No,
I'll have to rewatch that.
I will have to rewatch.
Surely you will.
I will watch it, and don't call me
but
Shirley.
He was also,
and don't call me Shirley.
Boom, that's a good one.
Line.
That's an airplane line. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Look at you. Look at you. Right.
You ready to close this out? We're over an hour 10 now.
Well, I am. But RZA was also in Taking Lives.
I have not seen Taking Lives in a long time.
I haven't either.
I believe you.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. No, he wasn't. Shit. Fuck. He wasn't. He was in the movie with Clive Owen that I'm thinking about. Damn it.
You're not talking about the Inside Man.
No. Not Inside Man. RZA, hold on. We can't.
All right.
Clive
Owen.
I know that RZA was in a movie with Clive Owen.
I'm trying to picture their faces in the same movie. It wasn't.
I'm trying to think of that.
It wasn't
face.
No, yeah, that make me a racist.
With that fine, milky white skin of Clive Owen.
Inside Man was a cool movie.
No, it was derailed with Jennifer Aniston, Clive Owen.
That's the movie. That's the movie with Jennifer Aniston faking the rape.
Yes.
How's that for coming full circle?
There it is.
How's that for coming full circle? Boom! Nailed it. This is Whiskey Congress Fun Talk. Brother, enjoyed it so much. It's good to get away from the politics.
I'm a single lady.
It's good to get away from the politics sometimes and do fun stuff. I enjoyed this very much. We did a little bit of a wild turkey rare breed for this show, and we drank some Miller Lite and
had a nice time.
I enjoyed it, brother.
All right, man.
Out.